So you feel like all roads just leads back to the woman?
I think because we have such a high of statistic of showing that we have single parents, it definitely plays a major part. By ignoring the fact that it's almost over 70-something% of households are single mothers. So the reality is a single father has a success rate of 2 parents. Listen to this statement. Come on, guys. Work with me on this one. 70% of women that are single parents, they have the highest incarceration, they have the highest mental health, they have the highest substance abuse, they have the lowest testing scores, they have the highest running away, all across the board, right? And then when you look at the fathers, when a single father has a child, he has a success rate of 2 parents. So by removing that entity, you're really creating your child, you're rolling the dice on your kids. Even if you and him don't get along, you should still keep that man around the child as long as he ain't doing nothing that warrants that you're protecting him from your child. Because you and him didn't get along. You're not protecting the kid from the father in most cases. A lot of times, you actually are trying to control the situation. Believe you me, I've been in family court. I see a lot of women, they use their child as a pawn and to play a vicious psychological game that child is gonna suffer long term and they're gonna have long-term effects from that problem. But if you tell them that, they're gonna be like, well, he ain't gonna be around my kid. I've never heard a man tell a woman, this is my kid. Women talk like that, my child, that's my baby. Like, those are problematic women. Why do you think like that when it took 2 to create it? That sounds crazy. The decision you make and you don't even ask the father? That's a narcissistic woman.
But what about the dads that are creating children and they're just leaving the homes with no push from the mother? The mother didn't push them out. What about the dads that just walk out on their responsibilities? Because you do have a lot of men that do that as well. I don't think it's always a mother's mouth, a woman's mouth. I'm talking let's step away from that. Let's talk to the ones that they just creating babies and they just leaving.
You want to bet? The men that are like that, a lot of times you've seen red flags before they even did it. A lot of times he showed a lot of signs that he was not a man. He showed a lot of signs that he wasn't a man. You just ignored it because of the fact that you wanted what you wanted. And the reality is you kept seeing something that he never showed you. So if a man not taking care of his children, you ignored a lot because that's an extreme. There's no way a man goes from daddy of the month to just trash dad.
I didn't say not taking care of his children. I said walk out on, you get women pregnant and they leave. And they just leave. Like, no, that happens too to some women.
I agree. There are situations where I've seen men who don't want responsibility.
They don't want to be dads. They don't want to take care of their kids.
There were red flags there though. There were red flags there. Because even when a woman, like I'll give you a story. One day, one of my boys, he was dating a woman who was bad to her first child's father. And I told him, I said, look how she treats her child's father. If you and her fall out, just know you're gonna be in that same boat. He was, I disagree. I said, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Fast forward, he went through the same thing. And I'm gonna be funny, I'm quite honest. He didn't believe that it could be him and her because when they were on good terms, I'm like, you think it with your emotions. Because I'm gonna tell you something, once you see how, in the child's father, the first father, he wasn't a bad man. She just had, I think personally, she still had feelings for him. I think in most cases when people break up, somebody still leave with a sour taste in their mouth, whether male or female, someone still has a sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
So that's why you have a problem within itself. Because I always ask people, how do you tell me that this person is not for you, but every time you mention this person's name, you talk crazy about the person? If they're not for you, why do you care?
So let me ask you this. What do you think we can do, especially in the Black community? Let's talk about our community, to keep more two-parent homes. What do you think is missing outside of, and it's not just about, let's not just put the women being mouthy, women being this, accountability on both ends. What do you think needs to be done in the household to keep families together, to keep them there, to keep the kids?
The one thing is, I just genuinely believe that, and I'm being honest with you, Shay, women file for divorce the most. And it's not because of physical abuse. A lot of times, it's because they're not happy, Shay. They're just not happy. And the reality of all things is you have people who are willing to break up households because of their own selfish beliefs and their own selfish wants. So a lot of times we talk about what happens to a man who grows up in a single mother household. But we don't talk about the women that come from that. These women are quick to break up a home because they come from broken homes. These women are quick to throw their husband or boyfriend under the bus because their father was never there to stop the bus from hitting them in the first place. These women was quick to disrespect a man because they never had to respect a man. These women are quick to talk about what they don't need because they never had it. So they don't know what a good man even entails or looks like. So reality is we talk about the aesthetics of what a man that comes from that. But what happens to a woman who doesn't have a father? She has a hard time submitting. She has a hard time listening. She's always feel like she's under attack. Her ego becomes bigger than her anything else. Her ego becomes bigger than anything. Now she stands on her pocketbook. I got my own money. I got my own bread. So if you got your own money, that means you've reached an adult. Who cares? Like you're an adult, and becoming an adult is being able to pay for your own way, especially if you want a luxurious lifestyle. I would never meet someone and put the luxurious lifestyle on them that I can't give to myself.
All right, so now that you gave the accountability on one side, what about
And
the
now
other?
the men,
Right.
we come from it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was hyper aggressive. I got that from my mom. My mom was hyper. You want me to lie my story? My mom was she hyper aggressive, Teddy? Look, how long you know me, Teddy? My whole life. My mom come in the crib, bing ba da doo 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 ba da doo da 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 da, like Michael da 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 da. That was my mom. And anytime I got mad, I was da 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 da. I repeated it. And I'm gonna tell you what happened to me was my mentor came in my house one day. I yelled at my ex-wife so bad. And I said, I checked her. Yeah. I walked outside. He said, I don't know who the man or the woman is in that house. And I looked at him and said, what you say? He said, but he never seen me and her argue like that. But that day he was there, he looked at me and said, I don't know who the man or the woman is in the house. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, my young brother, you think you did something. He said, all you showed was your whole vagina. Straight like that. You showed your whole vagina. I'm like, but I respected him so much that I didn't want to fight him. I'm like, I want to fight him because he hurt my feelings that bad. But in reality, he was checking me, letting me know a man don't act like this, buddy. You said what you said 30 times. You say it once and you get it moving. I said what I said and I'm standing on what I said. That's it. That's it. And if your woman respects you as a leader, she gonna respect it. And we'll get back to each other later, we'll talk again. But sitting there going toe to toe with a woman don't make you a man. It makes you a coward, it makes you a softie, it makes you weak. Reality is you said what you said, fam. You ain't gotta keep going on and on and on and disrespecting a woman to the point, because a lot of times those men that disrespect women like that is because that's how they feel about themselves. It takes a weak man to disrespect a woman like that. If you gotta take and you a bum, and that man gonna want you, he's a bum. That's a loser. He's a clown. But he got those low blows from a feminine energy. He learned that from feminine energy. Low blows. Because I'm gonna tell you something, real men could fight today and tomorrow be best friends. Real women can fight today and be enemies for life. That's the difference. Real men can literally get into it, be mad at each other, and tomorrow it never happened. A woman will fight you and hate you for 35 years. Y'all fought when y'all was in 3rd grade and you still hate her. That's the difference. And if a man learns that, he'll be in that same energy. But a man has to be taught how to be masculine, how to not personalize things,